The story begins with RMC Wu Kai, a greatest assassin in the East. Best of the best, no one has escaped from his clutch once he target them as his prey. No matter how strong his targets were, no matter their number, he could finish them all in 5 minutes. He knows many martial arts and is also proficient in all kinds of weapons. He is also good at staging accident like Mr. Mechanic. In one of his mission, he performed an excellent stage accident, and with this mission of his, he is also sure that he is God among assassins and is invincible. Just when he was enjoying his victory, the greatest assassin was slain. He got killed. The greatest assassin met his demise, and the one who killed him was a lady. When his soul was about to leave his body, the killing intent system appeared in front of him. The system told him that it will help him find out the culprit who killed him, but only if he completes some countless missions. And just like that, he got transported into different worlds, each world having people filled with killing intent. And his mission was to smash those killing intent people's wives. Just kidding. His mission or his task was to accelerate their death or get rid of their killing intent. He is kind-hearted, but he dances with the devil. He kills the reincarnation of all evil. He is in one world but also in different worlds. He is the Lord of Assassins. Next, a girl is asking for help and begging her bullies to let go of her. They are tearing her clothes and are live streaming of her. And the one bullying her are also girls. They are laughing at her situation and the viewers are taking screenshots of her. They are in the summer camp. The bullies gets ready to bring someone from the volunteer to help her. So they asks a guy to bring the volunteer to help that girl. The guy brings the volunteer, and they have also beaten up that volunteer guy and take off all of his clothes. His name is Wu Kai, our MC of this manhua. After bringing him there, they beat him even more and orders him to touch the topper of the class, Jiang Pinger. He apologizes to Jiang Pinger because he got no choice but to touch her now, but he gets a kick and crashes onto the tables. Viewers are making fun of Wu Kai. The bullies ladies think that he should go a little easy on Wu Kai because if he keep hitting Wu Kai anymore, he will die for sure. But the guy doesn't care because they are students, and even if they kill Wu Kai, he is sure that they won't be punished. Poor Wu Kai apologizes to Jiang because he couldn't help her and that he has no ability to help her. What's more, he seems to have hit that table real hard. There are blood coming from the back of his head. In his dying breath, he begs someone to help her, and the bad guy was about to have a taste of her. Then the system notifies the host Wu Kai, status dead. Killing intent system is in position. The greatest assassin wakes up in his new body. He is little shocked, and in front of his eyes, there are people bullying a girl, who are having fun bullying her, telling her to keep shouting because no one will come to help her. She is still begging for someone to come and help her, but the other students are just standing there and watching her. One glass guy is even making a video of her. Then someone tells them to behave themselves or they'll suffer. And it's Wu Kai. He even got a cloth for himself. Viewers are shocked to see that he can stand again. He ties his hair asking his system if this is his first rebirth mission. And that's right. And within 72 hours, he will have to kill the person who incites violence in that school. And the system is sure that it will be an easy task for him. After all, he is the greatest assassin in his previous life. Wu Kai asks his system to prepare for his second mission, and the people there are shocked to see him walking like that. Within 30 minutes, he gets ready to kill all of those people inside that room, and starts to mix some chemicals. System is surprised to see that he wants to use the mercury mines. However, the system informs him about a #1 article of the contract, and that he cannot take the initiative to kill anyone except the target of the mission. Otherwise, he will die. The bad guy gets ready to teach him a lesson again. Since that's the case, he can't kill innocent people. He places the bottle on the edge of the table. The bad guy gets ready to punch Wu Kai and his leg hits the table, which makes the chemicals to fall on him. And Wu Kai is sure that the contract didn't say anything about an accident that can occur in his mission. The chemical bottle falls on that bad guy and a big blast happens, which burns that guy's hand. And Wu Kai is sure that this kind of accident can happen anytime, and that he wasn't trying to kill anyone. That accident just happened. Even the system is shocked because Wu Kai seems to have found a loophole in their contract. However, the system is liking him even more. Wu Kai is the perfect host for him, and he is sure that their plan will be foolproof with Wu Kai with him. The system informs Wu Kai that there are too many innocent people involved and his mission score will be lowered if he kills them all, and it will also affect his resurrection. However, in Wu Kai's eyes, none of them are innocent. These are all the people who bully the weak, and the people who are on standby, they are also the same. But still the system informs him that from his mission perspective, except for the designated target, they are all innocent. The bad guy orders his man to finish off Wu Kai, but they didn't get a chance to move. Wu Kai move like flash and break all of their ribs. The bad guys are all on the ground. Wu Kai is finding it interesting to see students storing mercury mines. He steps on that bad guy's hand, and he is also sure that the target of the mission is not there, because he is sure that the target of the mission is the one who provoked this dispute, and if he is the one, then the target is most likely not among the group. Now he is confused. He can't kill these people and the target is not there. The bullies are shivering in fear. Then he gets shocked to see Zhang Pinger. He is shocked to see her there and didn't expect to meet her again. Turns out that he has a chemistry with someone who looks exactly like Zhang Pinger. 2 days ago, he was the greatest assassin in the Dragon Country. He had a beautiful woman by his side. Then he got killed without any trace of his killer. The system then informs him that the system have decided to give him a title. He gets ready to check the title. He opens his title, and it's a character attribute board. It shows his name, gender, his age, his lifespan is over, his overall rating, identity, faction, his title is apprentice. He gets ready to check his title apprentice. It shows him the detail information of anything he sets his eyes on. It works like an appraisal magic. However, Wu Kai is not finding this skill that useful because his level is low, so the skill has its limit. System informs him that the skill can be upgraded to more amazing ability when used skillfully. Wu Kai starts to check his skill. The teachers comes there because they heard some loud noise. Man, those lousy teachers, huh? When those bad guys were bullying Wu Kai and Zhang Pinger, they didn't show up at that time. But now, anyways, the teacher and some guards comes in. The bad guys informs the teacher that Wu Kai, he wants to kill them. Wu Kai starts to wonder about how to increase his skill, and this skill shows him details of everything. He wonders if he should master his observation to increase this skill. And that fatty teacher is yelling at him, telling him that he is fully responsible for what happened there. He uses the skill on his teacher. The skill shows him the details of that teacher, that he is upright on outside and a pervert inside, who likes to take pictures secretly. Wu Kai comes to him saying that someone has to take responsibility for what happened there, and he is sure that the teacher knows who is responsible for this, because he is sure that the teacher's photo collection is not responsible for this, which send a shiver down that teacher's spine. Fatty is shocked, thinking how did Wu Kai knew about his secret. He asks Wu Kai about the explosion. Wu Kai informs him that it was just an accident. The bad guy informs Fatty. Fatty turned out to be a director and his name is Liu. Bad guy informs him to arrest Wu Kai because he is the one who created that bomb. Pinger comes in saying that teacher Wu is not at fault and that this happened because of her. And it turned out that Wu Kai is a teacher, they're not a student. And the students bullied a teacher. However, the pervert didn't hurt anything she said because he was fully focused on her melons. Poor girl hides her treasure. Her best friend comes there asking what happened and what was that explosion. Her name is Yu Lion. The bad guy yells at Fatty telling him to arrest Wu Kai. Now Fatty is in tough situation, because if he offends Wang Wei's father, Wang Wei is that bad guy's name. If Fatty offends Wang Wei's father, it will be hard for Fatty to hide the fact that he smuggled the building materials money. And on the other hand, he thinks Wu Kai is just a soft-spoken young man who is easy to bully, so he gets ready to threaten Wu Kai to save himself. Wang Wei informs Fatty that Wu Kai and Pinger were doing nasty thing inside the room, and when they entered he got angry. And he also informs that the other students can testify this. Those cowards also agrees with what Wang Wei said. Now this gives Fatty a chance to save himself. He yells at Wu Kai and Pinger. Pinger tells them that they didn't do anything like that and what Wang Wei said is a lie. Her best friend trusts her and informs Fatty that Pinger is not that kind of person. Wu Kai stops them and informs Pinger that she should save those tears for someone she loves, not waste of those trash. He then shows Fatty the evidence of what happened there. Wang Wei is shocked because he didn't notice when Wu Kai took his phone from his pocket. Wu Kai gives dead stare at those students who just lied, informs them about a thing called karma, and that they should be careful of karma, if not they might get into an accident like Wang Wei. He then grabs Fatty by his head, and with the evidence he just showed, Wu Kai is sure that Director Liu will uphold justice here. The aura coming out from him was so scary, it looked like a Grim Reaper have appeared behind him. Fatty is shocked to see this side of Wu Kai. He never thought that Wu Kai was this scary. He is feeling like he will die if he doesn't listen to Wu Kai. Fatty walks to Wang Wei, gives him a hard slap on his face, scolds him for doing such thing. orders the security to throw him out of there and also orders Wang Wai to bring his parents. Wang Wai informs him that it was Wu Kai who created that bomb and he should arrest Wu Kai. Fatty also orders other students to go to their next class. Wu Kai is surprised that Director Liu really live up to his reputation, so to get more compliments from his higher-ups, Wu Kai informs him that he has sent Fatty's incredible feat together with his magnificent photo collection of his to the Education Bureau, and he is sure that Fatty will soon get the compliments for his outstanding contribution. Fatty begs him not to let that happen. His life will be over, and Pinger is shocked to see that her teacher Wu is giving different feeling from before. Lion gets ready to take Pinger to her dormitory, and Wang Wai is boiling in anger looking at Wu Kai. He then notices a student or a sign to his right, and puts an evil smile on his face, asks the security to let go of him because he can walk by himself. Then something changes inside him. He gets ready to finish Wu Kai. After that, Wu Kai seems to be going somewhere, don't know where. And there is still 71 hours, 35 minutes and 48 seconds remaining till his task ends. System shows him an alert of 80% complete cutification. His system is surprised because he triggered a CUD just after he arrived. However, Wu Kai doesn't have any idea what this cutification means. The system informs him that when people who are truly motivated to kill someone, they will transform into a monsters or a CUD in this mission world. And since 80% have completed, the monster is approaching. Now the system is really curious, thinking how long can the number 1 assassin can hold on against this cut. And Wu Kai is also excited about the feeling of cutting down such an existence. However, they are not existence that humans can easily fight. System informs him that he will understand it when he meets a cut, and someone was watching them from the top of the building, and it was not someone but a monster, who is hungry to kill Wu Kai. Wu Kai notices someone is spying on him. He looks behind but there is no one. It seems like his stupid system didn't notice it. They then leave from there to finish some important things first. He comes back to his room and starts to check his skills and abilities. He wants to familiarize with his abilities. His skill shows him all the details of the thing inside his room. After understanding his skill, he notices that if he combines the known data, an unknown data is generated from the known data. But using this skill of his for a long time, it hurts his eyes. He can't use this ability for a long time in front of his enemy. System is surprised to see that he is more intelligent than other fools who can't stop bragging about their abilities and perished as a result. However, he wonders if Wu Kai want to give up on experimenting his ability. No way in hell he is going to do that. He gets ready to use the ability on himself. He comes into the washroom, in front of the mirror to use the ability on himself. He activates his skill and finds himself in Wu Kai thinking space. The system gives him some details of Wu Kai. Wu Kai gets surprised to see that he can merge with Wu Kai body to access to more of Wu Kai's body. However, he is confused because he has already merged with Wu Kai's memories. But he still gets ready to see what other memories does Wu Kai's has, and touches Wu Kai's dead conscious. He enters inside Wu Kai's memory and is surprised to see that he can see everything that happened to Wu Kai at that time from the perspective of God. Wu Kai gets ready to check this memories, thinking he might find his target in this process. And it was on 13 August, Wu Kai came to X summer camp to become volunteer to get experience for a teaching interview at the end of the year. Being a teacher was his dream job, because when he was student, he had some difficulties, and a teacher of his helped him at that difficulty time of his. He wanted to be such type of teacher. He wanted to help his students too. However, when he came to this academy, he was shocked to see the sight in front of his eyes. Some students were bullying a girl, and it was Wang Wai. He tried to stop Wang Wai and his friends from bullying that girl. But instead, he too got bullied and beaten up by Wang Wai. But he was a teacher. He doesn't give up on his students, so he brought Wang Wai to Director Liu and informed Director Liu about what happened and how Wang Wai beat him and that female students. Fatty stops him and gets ready to hear what that girl has to say about this matter. However, she stayed quiet. Wu Kai told her not to worry and tell the truth and that they are there to help her. However, she still stayed quiet. Fatty stopped Wu Kai from pressuring her and told her to go back to her class, and warned Wu Kai to mind his own business, and if not, he might not become a teacher. They came outside from that Fatty's office. Pinger and Lion came to her asking if she was alright. She apologized to Wu Kai because she couldn't help him inside. She seems to be feeling guilty about that too. After that, he was bullied every day, so he thought to not get into trouble and survive this summer. After that, he will advance from volunteer to a teacher. His years of hard work will be rewarded. But that Wang Wai and his guys were just too much, so how can he just ignore them bullying some innocent kid? He tried to hold himself back. After all, he is just a normal person. He can't help all the children. But this was just too much, so he jumped at Wang Wai. Then he got yelled by that fatty pig again. He knew this would happen, but he still thought that it was worth trying. And this time, the girl speak up and told that fatty pig it was Wang Wai and his lackeys who bullied her. That's why Teacher Wu stood out to help her, which obviously made Wang Wai mad. Fatty didn't react that much after hearing her, and just asked them to return to their class. He didn't even took action against Wang Wai, but she was happy that she spoke for herself and helped her Teacher Wu. But next day, she was pushed down from the top of the building. This broke Wu Kai completely. He blamed himself for what happened to that little girl. If he hadn't interfered and tried to help him, she wouldn't have ended up like this. Wang Wai and his lackeys came there saying that he will be next. He wanted to punish Wang Wai, but he doesn't have any evidence. And the death of that little girl was just too much for him to handle, so he tried to hold justice right there and then. But instead he got beaten up again. He wanted to help the other pitiful students, and that was his last wish. Next, Wu Kai still have 46 hours 11 minutes until his mission countdown ends. System asks him what are his thoughts after knowing the host's past life. And his thoughts, he thinks that Wu Kai was childish, stupid and weak, even though they have the same face but they have nothing in common. However, current Wu Kai doesn't dislike him because the past Wu Kai stood up for that girl, and his last wish. He gets ready to respect his last wish. He then leaves from his room. The system informs him that he doesn't have much time. If he doesn't complete the mission, he will die. Back at the academy, some students are bullying a fat guy. The fat guy begs them to let him go. However, the bullies are using him as a punching bag to improve their skill and get recognized by Wang Wai. If they get recognized by Wang Wai, they are sure their status will improve, and at that time, they will let this fatty to be a high-level errand boy. Then Wu Kai comes behind him saying with this current level of his, he will only be a trash for the rest of his life. Which makes that guy mad, and seeing that it's Wu Kai, the weak teacher they can bully anytime, he gets ready to beat him up, but his friend tries to stop him saying Wu Kai have changed. However, that was too late and that guy gets a punch right on his face, which sent him flying far away. And with this Wu Kai have make himself clear that they are weak, and after experiencing the real thing, he wonders if they realize how weak their fists are. Next, some students getting bullied. The bullies are making them fight among themselves, and if one of them loses, they gets ready to make them lick the toilet bowl until it shines. The weak-looking guy loses, which makes of one the bullies mad, picks a bottle and smashes of that loser's head. Because he made him lose his money, the bully bet on him and he lost. Bully hits him with that broken bottle multiple times. Poor guy begs for forgiveness, while thinking why these kind of people are even alive. He begs for someone to help them. Then that someone comes there, and he was looking for these bullies. But the bullies wonders if Wu Kai came there to join them in their break time activities. Wu Kai helps the guy who got beaten up, and asks the one who win that fight why he didn't fight back with that ability of his. The guy doesn't want to fight back because he doesn't want to cause more troubles and he can't beat them all. But Wu Kai thinks that it's not that he can't beat them, it's simply that he finds it easier to beat those weaker than him, so that he don't have to face fear. Wu Kai calls him coward, which makes him mad because he is anything but a coward. He doesn't fight back because they are Wang Wai's people and they rule that school. Even teachers can't do shit about it. Even Wu Kai, as a teacher, he can't even help. The bully butt in and stops their conversation, and gets ready to burn Wu Kai's face with his cigarette. Wu Kai grabs his hand and his cigarette, then breaks his hand. After that he burns that guy's tongue with his own cigarette, saying smoking is bad for health. This angers the other bullies. They grab the bottles and gets ready to break those bottles on Wu Kai's head. But the bullies are the one getting beaten up, and the students who got bullied are shocked to see the sight in front of their eyes. Their weak-looking teacher was like an animal in front of them right now. He takes care of those guys and gets ready to leave from there. Before leaving, he informs the guy that he should fight back if he has the power. After that, the system informs Wu Kai that the time is running out, and he hasn't even progressed 10% in his mission. Instead, he is playing revenge for the previous Wu Kai. But Wu Kai doesn't think this is a revenge. He takes it as something to awaken something more important. Next, somewhere in the academy, some students are bullying a student. Wu Kai comes there too, saying people like you are cockroaches that are difficult to get rid of. He wonders how much trash are there in that school. The guy gets shocked to see it's Wu Kai, but he still swings that tool he was holding at Wu Kai. With a flip of his hand, Wu Kai sent the teeth of that tool flying in the air and punches that bully, which sent that bully flying, and the teeth of that tool also falls down, almost hit that guy's little brother. However, the other two are still not scared of him, because they have their gang behind them. The gang were waiting for Wu Kai, because they heard that someone was causing trouble on their turf. Seeing so many people ganging on Teacher Wu, some students gets ready to call the police, but others stop them because if they do that, they will be their next target. The gang starts to charge toward Wu Kai. However, Wu Kai beats them easily without even taking his hands out of his pocket. One guy tries to sneak attack him, but he gets a kick right on his face, and it's the guy from earlier. Wu Kai is surprised to see that he actually fight back, and asks that guy now that he has beat one of those goons, isn't he afraid? He is super scared. However, he wants to change something like his teacher Wu said. But to change something, he must change himself first. Even the weak-looking guy joins into them. Then more students join into the fight. But the gang is still not scared because there are more people on their side. After some time, Wu Kai and the others have beaten up all the bad guys. The system still informs him that he should focus on his mission now. But he is not done yet. Next, students get shocked to see the sight. The bullies are getting bullied. Wu Kai and the other students are taking all those bullies to somewhere. Wang Wei comes there and is boiling in anger, asking Wu Kai what is he doing. Wu Kai knocks on his head saying those students were fighting in school, and now he is taking them to the office to educate them. Wang Wei is mad at those weaklings who are acting like boss. He gets ready to kick their bump later. However, those weaklings are not scared of him anymore. Wu Kai pushes him away from his way. This is making Wang Wei super mad, and there is something coming out from his hand. No wait, he got nails in his arms. He's a total psycho. Next, the news have spread all over the school that Wang Wei and his lackeys are finished, thanks to Teacher Wu. Students are praising Wu Kai, and Wang Wei and his teams are making their plan to deal with Wu Kai. Otherwise, their reputation will be ruined. And Wang Wei is also waiting for a right time to strike. He is waiting for a thing to help deal with Wu Kai. And for that, he asked a guy named Ziofen to bring that thing for him. But Ziofen asks him to give him some more time to bring that thing, because that thing is still under tight surveillance. Wang Wei gives him a punch for not doing his job properly. He reminds Ziofen about his parents who works under Wang Wei's father. And if Ziofen doesn't listen to him, Wang Wei gets ready to do something to his parents. Ziofen begs him and tells him not to hurt his parents. He will bring that thing. However, Wang Wei's lackeys doesn't have that much patience to wait around, and gets ready to go and deal with Wu Kai. Wang Wei also didn't stop them. He wants Wu Kai to have some small gifts before receiving the big one. Next, the system informs Wu Kai that the price for playing house isn't worth the time left to complete the mission. If he is still going to play hero, he is going to die. And also the cutification have reached to 98%. The system is sure now that his new host is going to die. Wu Kai then comes to Pinger's class and asks her if she has some time, because he wants to talk to her. Lion informs him that she does have some time, and asks Pinger to go with him. Now the system is getting mad at Wu Kai. The system gave him a precious opportunity to be reborn, but he used it to pick up girls. Wu Kai and Pinger comes out. He asks her from when did Wang Wei started to bully her. She informs him that they used to bully her, but they never did something like that to her before. And seeing him looking at her like that, she asks him if there is something on her face. He tells her that she is just too beautiful and asks her if they have met before, because he has met her before. In his previous life, she was one hell of a beauty and a beast. She was not even afraid of the top assassin and point her knife at him. However, he was the top assassin. He put her own knife on her neck, and since they were both the top assassin, their chemistry was great. They even went on a same mission together. Wu Kai notices someone cutting that electric wire, so he pulls Pinger closer to him, asking her if she has something to say to him, because in his previous life, she had a lot of things to say to him. His hand was also saying something to her thighs, then pull out the gun from her thigh and started to shoot at their targets. They were the best assassins and best team. They even finished with a beautiful pose. And now I am super sure that she is the one who killed him. The electric wire comes straight at Pinger and Wu Kai. Wu Kai dodges the wire and saves Pinger too. Then the bike comes straight at them. The system informs him to dodge it quickly. Someone throws some water from the rooftop. Wu Kai dodges the water too. The water falls near the electric wire. Luckily, he dodged it. Otherwise, they would have been toasted. However, the bike is still coming straight at them. The system gets ready to find a new host for himself. However, this host of his is not that weak. He uses his skill, the apprentice. He creates some red wires which wraps the bike and shows him the details of the things in that bike. After that, he blasted the bike with Hai's endless knowledge skill. Pinger gets shocked because just now she noticed some strings coming out from Wu Kai's hand and he saved her from that blast. The students in the class also heard that loud sound. She asks Wu Kai, who is he and how did he do that? Then the students from the class gets ready. me out and see what's going on there. Wu Kai takes Pinger away from there before those students could see them. Next, in the chemistry lab, Xiao Fan seems to have steal a bottle of chemical from the chemistry lab. After that, in Wu Kai's room, he informed Pinger that the real Wu Kai is dead and he borrowed Wu Kai's body to help him deal with the people secretly inciting violence. System is shocked because Wu Kai told Pinger such an important thing just like that. But Wu Kai is also sure that there were no rules saying that he can't tell other people about himself. Well, he is correct and there was no such rules because no one in their right mind would believe such a load of crap. But Pinger believes in him and even gets ready to help him. The system is shocked thinking did she hit her head that she just believed him just like that. Wu Kai also asks her how can she believed him just like that. He could be lying to her. And the reason she believed him because he is different from the previous Wu Kai. Besides, he has no reason to lie to her. She is just an orphan. She doesn't have any money. And if it's about sex, she is sure that he has many convenient ways. So, she gets ready to help him in any way possible, and he also thinks that she can help him for sure. He comes closer to her and tells her to take care of him, then activates his skill and enters inside Pinger's mind space. Next, Wu Kai is inside Pinger's mind space, and System is shocked that Wu Kai, just like that, entered inside someone's mind. Wu Kai wonders if it is that shocking, and of course, because it's not that easy to enter inside the depths of someone's mind. The system have divided the composition of the human individual into self, which is the harmony of spirit and matter, and the superego, which is responsible for moral disciple, and the idea of instinctive impulse. If he wants to enter inside someone's mind space, he must first get the recognition of the other self. This requires other party to have strong affection for him, or if the other party is a dead person. And the second is to resist the endless chains of the superego in the mind space. And only by breaking this chains he can find someone's ID. Finally, not to be influenced by the pure primitive impulses of ID and animalistic desire. Only then one can explore the other one's mind at will. And Wu Kai enter inside Pinger's mind so easily, System wonders if the little girl does not have a superego restriction. Then they come across Pinger, who is trying to protect the girl who fell down from the building. From Wang Wei's lackeys, she chased them away with her wooden stick. They became a good friends after that. Then Wu Kai wakes up. He suddenly fainted, so she put his head on her lap and asks him if he is fine, which makes Wu Kai wonder if she doesn't have anything to ask him. Well, she is not asking him any question because she knows that he is a good person and all she wants is to help him. System laughs at her seeing how naive she is. Wu Kai pats her head and thanks her. Because of her, he found his mission target. The system notifies him with the cutification 99%. He uses his skill to search for the cud. He searches in the corridor, on the street, and even the CCTV camera. He then leaves from there to his mission target. Pinger also follows him. Next, Wang Wei is bullying Xiao Fan for not bringing him the medicine. He was about to give another punch to Xiao Fan. Then the door of the classroom opens. Wu Kai and Pinger comes there. Seeing Wu Kai there, Wang Wei laughs devilishly. Then his hand starts to change. Then he spits blood. And not only him but all of his man starts to spit blood. Xiao Fan seems to have poisoned them. Wang Wei dies in a very painful way. Xiao Fan then starts to laugh saying he killed everyone and the cutification have reached to 99%. It was Xiao Fan all along. He was the cud, a person immersed in darkness. He will ultimately devote himself to darkness. So to relieve him from that pain and darkness, Wu Kai gets ready to free him from this curse's world. He then gets ready to leave from there thinking he has killed the cud. But the cud can't be killed that easily and the cutification have reached to 100% now. Xiao Fan's body starts to change. He turns into a monster and now Wu Kai is F up. Wu Kai tells Pinger to leave from there. It will be difficult for him to protect her and fight that monster. He then attacks that monster with his pen. The pen hits the monster right in his eyes. Nothing happens to the monster's eye but the pen gets broken into pieces. Wu Kai gets shocked to see that because the tip of that pen was made of titanium. The monster then grabs him by his hand and gets ready to smash him on the floor. Before he hits the floor, he freed himself from the clutch of that monster's hand. He is surprised to see the speed and strength of that monster. He wonders if this is the general increase in physical capabilities. However, the monster has the bodily structure of a human, so Wu Kai is confident in his skill. He first attacks the monster in his ear, targets his cochlea. After that, he attacks the monster in his solar plexus, and gets ready to finish the monster by attacking him on its spine. But the monster stops that attack of his with the bones that are inside his body. The system informs him even if he hits the vital point of a human body, his attacks won't do any damage to the cud's modification body, because cud is the ideal liberation of the ID. Each cud will have distinct features based on the powerful desires in each person's heart. The monster releases all of the weapons from his body, sending a strong energy wave, which even sent Wu Kai flying. The shock wave was so strong that it sent him outside of the building, where Pinger and other students are. The monster too comes out. The system informs Wu Kai that this cud, his awakened attributes are not the strongest, and a newbie can kill him. However, right now, Wu Kai is still unable to fight something whose physical abilities exceed the limits of human by 10 times. The monster charges toward Pinger once again. Wu Kai protects her by pushing her away from there, but it cost him his hand in the process, and also a strong hit which sent him flying and crashing into the dustbin. Seeing him like that, the system thinks that he should give up, hurry up and die, so that he can find a new host. But our man is not going to give up that easily, and he has something up his sleeve. He uses his skill to check what that monster's body is made of. He then gets an idea on how to deal with this monster, who is throwing a punch at him. He too throws his punch at the monster while using his ability at the nearby living and non-living things to create something new from their combination. He creates a new arm for himself to deal with that monster. Right before their hand collide, his hand completely changes to new. The system is shocked to see that because the pain of muscles being crushed and restructured is unbearable for most of the people. Yet he did it like a child's play, and the system is liking him even more. Their powerful punch collides with each other, sending a strong shock wave everywhere. Even though he is overpowering that monster, but the system doesn't think that his human body can keep going after he modified his body so that he can fight toe-to-toe with that monster. System wonders if his body will be able to hold up to 1 minute or 30 seconds. However, 10 seconds is enough for Wu Kai to finish that monster. The countdown begins. He gives a strong kick on that monster's neck. The 10 seconds countdown begins. The kick sent the monster near the building. Now Wu Kai has 9 seconds. He then slams the monster's head on the ground. Now 8 seconds left. However, System doesn't think that with his current strength, he can kill that monster. He jumps into the air. 7 seconds left. Then he uses his power to call his broken arms from earlier. It comes flying at him. He uses some skill to turn that bones into a strong weapon. 5 seconds to go. He then jumps straight at the monster. 4 seconds to go. Then finally, he gives a finishing blow right behind the monster's neck. The bone have pierced through the monster's chest, and now the building behind them starts to collapse. The 10 seconds gets over, the building falls on that monster. The system comes to him saying he always believed in him and he knew that he can do it, and now they just have to solve the mission objective. And all that power and strength Wu Kai just showed was just 1% of what he had at his peak. Now even a tattoo has appeared on his hand. And that bone, he is using it as a hairband. Pinger comes there. She is happy to see Wu Kai is fine and alright. Wu Kai also wonders who the mission objectives is. The system notices something different about Pinger. She then stabs Wu Kai with something, and it's a broken glass. She then tells Wu Kai that she didn't expect him to be so naive and cute. Wu Kai remembers the same words that the Pinger from his previous world said to him. So is it confirmed that she is his killer? Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, then click the video popping on the side. Also like and subscribe for more.